What can I do for you?
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're making inquiries into the murder of Evelyn Summers.
Evelyn? She's dead?
You knew Evelyn Summers, Mr.
Robbins. Yes, I knew Evelyn. I was a good friend of her ex-husband. She kept some of her stuff here.
Can you show us, please?
Sure. Come this way. That's all? I can be more used to you than that. No offense, but having cops in the store scares away customers.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit to pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
She was murdered late last night and still extremely drunk. You expect me to believe that she bought a quart here in the morning and it lasted her and her friends a whole day?
You have some way of proving that I'm lying about when she came in here? You should learn to make the distinction between the people who are helping you and the people who are not.
She was an alcoholic and your friend, and you still kept selling her booze.
You ever try to stop an addict, detective? Better me than having her buy methylated spirits from the hardware store.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
How many people will be sad she's gone? I'll be one of the few.
Why the ongoing interest in Evelyn, Mr. Robbins? You sure you had nothing to do with the breakup of her marriage?
You think you can prove that I was involved with Evelyn? That's a pretty low blow. I've heard some pretty terrible ones over the years.
When Evelyn bought the booze, did she say who she was meeting or where she was going?
A young drinking friend of hers, I think. Don't recall his name.
Do you know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
You sure you don't know McCaffrey? The book was in your room.
I would have thought it was pretty obvious the book was among Evelyn's things. You think you have some way to link me to McCaffrey? I know life's not perfect. I'm sorry about how it turned out for Evelyn. But I don't think we have to destroy everything and start again. I'm no revolutionary.
She talked about McCaffrey.
Supposedly he fought in the International Brigade in Spain and in the miners' strikes back in Virginia.
I thought you were Evelyn's friend, Robbins.
You should learn some manners, some goddamn respect.
We're catching murderers, not running a popularity contest.
I'm at a loss.
I say we check out Mensch's place. By the smell, this broad spent a good chunk of time hopping bars.
Any ideas?
Must have missed something at Levine's liquor. For a person living rough, keeping things there must mean something. Let's get back there. That price is outrageous. That's a guy.
We're trying to account for Evelyn's movements yesterday.
She came by in the morning.
A social visit to pick up some of her things?
She had a couple of bucks and bought a quart of rye.
Any idea where the money came from?
She didn't mention it, but she did say the booze was a present for a boy. She said they had been fighting and she had to make it up to him.
Were you and Evelyn close, Mr. Robbins?
How many people will be sad she's gone? I'll be one of the few.
We got the impression that Evelyn had been sleeping rough of late.
It became difficult for me to have her staying here. Her mother was trying to get her back on the straight and narrow. She's old now. And to be honest, you have to have a good reason to want to get back on.
You know a friend of Evelyn's by the name of McCaffrey?
Not personally.
We're struggling for leads, Robbins. Did she know McCaffrey?
She idolized him. From what I gather, the feeling was far from mutual. He seems to peddle a revolutionary stance, fixing the ills of society. You could see how it would appeal to down-and-outs like Evelyn.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Robbins.
No problem. Hey, I'd like to make arrangements for the funeral. You think I could get in touch with Evelyn's mother?
Put in a call to the watch commander at Central Station, Mr. Robbins. He'll be trying to reach the next of kin.
Thanks. Get the guy, huh? Evelyn never hurt anybody.
So what next?
I say we check out Mentz's place. By the smell, this broad spent a good chunk of time hopping bars.